I'm sure if you're watching this video, you must be wondering, what does she do for her hair? Or maybe it's genetic. You know, I have balding genes in my family, and I'm sure you also personally might have tried literally everything for your hair loss, from curds and methi, oils, every expensive shampoo, conditioner under the sun, serums, biotin, cosmetic treatments, and if nothing has worked, finasteride, Redensil, and minoxidil also. But your hair is still falling when you stop all of this, or it's just being managed temporarily, and at some point you're thinking, maybe it's genetic or age. No. You know, have you observed that even some grandparents have really thick and good hair, and some people have great hair even though their parents are not as blessed? I'm going to come to the genetic factor in just a while. You know, 71% of adults experience significant hair loss, and most of them are prescribed external treatments and supplements. It's like applying chemicals to this child all over him and giving him supplements and expecting him to grow taller and stronger. Okay, that was like a weird visual, but you kind of get the point, right? So thick, abundant hair isn't just about what you apply externally, it's about what you avoid applying. And more importantly, it's about what you consume. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to share everything from nutrition, what you should consume, practices, applications, and what to avoid, all of which will 3x your hair growth on a very fast track. These are very natural, lifelong hair growth solutions that will lead to abundant thick hair when done with dedication and consistency at any age. Now, I'm going to clarify some facts about the genetic hair fall as well. It's good news. Hi and welcome to Curiosity with me, Daisy. So your hair, it doesn't just fall out randomly. It goes through these cycles of birth and death just like us. So there are these phases. Your hair grows like for 2 to 8 years, and this phase is called like the anagen phase. Your follicles are like actively pushing new strands out constantly. And then the follicles get tired. It enters this catagen phase, which is like this transition phase lasting from 2 to 3 weeks. Finally, it rests. This is the telogen phase. For 2 to 4 months, your hair just sits there. Then it falls out. This is very, very normal. You lose like 50 to 100 hair every day naturally. Normal. Now, nutrition is what doctors address first. Why? Because nutrition is basic. A healthy plant will always grow in like nutritious, rich, live soil, right?
But I too take multivitamin. Still my hair is falling.
Okay, our hair needs very specific hair nutrients, ideally through food. Without them, no amount of external treatments will work, and also taking just random, unrelated supplements also will either have no effect at all or sometimes can have an adverse effect. Now, the first most important nutrient for hair is iron. Iron is absolutely most essential for hemoglobin, which carries all the oxygen to your hair follicles. No iron means weak, thin hair, means eventual hair loss. But iron can be easily consumed through food with a very specific food chemistry instead of relying on these synthetic chemicals. If there is something we Indians did traditionally, it was never without a very strong reason behind it. Drinking copper charged water first thing in the morning and throughout the day if possible is like the sure short way to increase your iron in the body. And here's the science. Copper acts as a catalyst that helps your body release and absorb iron from the red blood cells. So it's like this mineral that ensures this iron release and absorption process happens very efficiently in your body.
My copper bottles get this green color substance, inside the walls of it, and people are saying it's very toxic. I'm very scared to use it.
Yes, you're actually absolutely right. You know, the green residue is called patina. It happens when copper is not maintained or washed properly. It needs to be cleaned using natural ingredients like lemon and salt, vinegar or tamarind paste. But if you end up cleaning them with these common chemical detergents, then they are bound to have the green residue and become really toxic. The second most important ingredient to increase your iron absorption is lemon. Just add fresh lemon juice to every meal. You know, all our Indian thalis, we have this little lemon piece of veg that always comes in for sure. Why? Because vitamin C increases the iron absorption by 300%. That is not any marketing language. That's absolute biochemistry. Our Indian meals are intelligent food chemistry, and we are just not aware. That's all. The next most important thing for iron absorption is our iron utensils. Replace all the Hindallium and non-stick cookware in your kitchen for iron utensils. Iron from them will leach into your food in every single meal, and you will never need to depend on an iron supplement ever. I promise you that. Now, these are mine. I've had them for most of my life. Just make sure you wash them with tamarind and salt and just coat them with a little bit of oil and then store them so that they don't catch any rust. Just remember that the metals we use in our cookware leach into our foods, and this adds up when they are used like 365 days of the year and for a long time of our life. It accumulates in our bodies.
But all this is so inconvenient, so time consuming also.
Yes, they are a little inconvenient. But today our health and beauty is actually paying the price for this convenience. And honestly, most of this washing is actually done by our maids in most households. And it will surely save you the time and money that you spend later on in salons or dermatologists or cosmetologists or hospitals later on in life. I promise you that. Now imagine you're using copper plus lemon and iron utensils. Just imagine your iron levels in just a few months and no supplementation at all. Okay, the next nutrient that is absolutely needed is B12. Now I think everybody knows this about B12. B12 creates red blood cells that transport the oxygen. So its deficiency causes hair to stop growing completely. Now there is a video of mine where I mentioned the best B12 supplements.
Hare, you just now said no supplements, and now you're only recommending supplements.
Yes, but B12 is an exception for a very specific reason. Because eating B12 is not the same as absorbing B12. Actually, most meat eaters are also deficient of B12 because of poor absorption. Everything you need to know about B12, the A to Z, even about the supplements, because there are so many specifications in that, everything is in this video. Now, the next absolutely needed nutrient is vitamin D. You know, vitamin D receptors are on the hair follicles. So, vitamin D deficiency literally prevents these receptors from being activated. And 90% of the people are deficient of vitamin D. Sunlight is the free main source. So, get ample sunlight. Go out in the early mornings or just sit in your balcony with your hands and legs and navel exposed and get enough sunlight absorption. Your hair will thank you for this.
But I get very tan under the sun.
Then just cover up your face with a scarf and expose the rest of your body as much. The next absolutely needed nutrient is zinc. Now, zinc strengthens the follicle protein, which is why zinc deficiency causes immediate shedding. Often within weeks, you'll start seed shedding. Eat a lot of pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, cashew, pine nuts, pecans, legumes, beans, vegetables. You know, every day I have like 2 good spoonfuls of soaked sesame seeds. It's like mandatory for me. You know, just make sure your meals has like enough variety. If you've seen our Indian thalis now, they'll always have like these 2 vegetables. Like one will always be like a green leafy vegetable, and then we'll have this salad, a pickle, lemon, sliced onions, cucumber, papad, dal, rice, rotis. And after the meal, you'll also have like sauf and pan. This is like intelligent food chemistry at its very best because it satisfies every taste and every ingredient is working so synergistically with the other, so you're nutritionally charged. Yes, but eat more of the veggies and legumes and less of the rice and the rotis. Load up on fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts as much as you can, and I promise you, you will start to search for your hair on your drain when you wash your hair next time. Okay, so Amla contains like EGCG. Now, this EGCG does something miraculous for your hair. It blocks the DHT from miniaturizing your hair follicles.
But what is DHT?
So DHT is nothing but like this hormone that makes your hair follicles shrink and become smaller very fast. And some people are born with genes that make their hair follicles sensitive to this DHT hormone. So they are the ones who will be also more prone to hair loss than the others. But here's the critical part. DHT sensitivity isn't just genetic. It's amplified by your insulin levels, your nutrient status, sleep quality, stress levels, and your gut health. So let's say even if your mom or dad have a lot of hair loss, they're genetically prone to hair loss, you don't necessarily have to if you fix these factors. So it's like, you know, genetics loads the gun, but your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So in most cases, your lifestyle decides whether the balding genes will turn on or not. And I'm going to address more of the DHT in later solutions as well, because DHT sensitivity is one of the main factors for hair loss. So Amla has this power to block the DHT from miniaturizing your hair follicles. So it doesn't treat the symptom, it directly targets that mechanism of hair loss. It also prevents the cell death in your hair roots. It's that powerful. It extends your hair growth phase very naturally, and it has 20 times more vitamin C than oranges for collagen production, which is also very important for hair. So when you wake up, just take a glass of fresh amla juice on an empty stomach. You can use some copper water to make the amla juice, the same copper water that we just spoke about. Also make sure you wait for at least an hour before you have your chai or your coffee, because that will surely interfere with the absorption of amla. Okay, I'm sure most of you already know about Sarvangasana, but how many of us actually practice it daily? When you invert your body, gravity reverses, your blood obviously flows towards your head, and it increases the pressure, not just the blood flow to your scalp, up to 40%. Your our follicles are literally getting this blood bath of oxygen and nutrients. Additionally, Sarvangasana also stimulates the pineal and pituitary glands, which regulate your hormonal balance. And honestly, most hair loss, especially in women, is due to hormonal imbalance. This also leads to less DHT sensitivity, meaning less follicle miniaturization, the same DHT that we just spoke about. There are so many videos on YouTube on how to perform Sarvangasana. You can just check it out on YouTube and practice it every day. Just build your practice gradually.
But I have terrible neck and spine issues. Is there any other alternative asana?
So if you have neck or spine issues, then skip it and try Halasana instead. Or even if that is also difficult, then just lift your legs on a bed or a floor and support it on a wall and let that blood flow to your head. This is like the most rarely known secret, or probably people who are doing yoga already know it. You know, I've been doing this like for 2 decades now, and Balayam literally means strengthening the hair. Like there are these nerve endings on your fingernail. When it's stimulated, they send signals via your nervous system to your scalp and follicle. This activates the resting follicles, the dormant ones, and it increases the local blood flow, and it can also turn grey hair into black with time. It's really simple to practice, and you can even do it while you're watching TV or something like that. Just sit comfortably, rub all the 8 fingernails together vigorously. Use medium pressure only on the nails, not on the skin. 10 to 15 minutes every day. Early morning on an empty stomach is always best for any yoga or pranayama. Okay, this is a mix that is not available anywhere by any brand, so you'll have to make it yourself. Now, I have been using this for like decades, since ever. I batch make very large quantities, so the recipe comes to about 800 ml of this oil. I don't like to keep making it again and again. Now, the base oil is castor oil. I take 500 ml of castor oil. It's also called as Arand Yenne or Arand Tailam. Now, castor oil is a miracle oil. You know, in this Ayurvedic text called Bhaishaja Ratnavali, it's called the lion of oils because it is the only oil that can penetrate deeper than most other oils. So whenever you apply like it on an eyebrow or eyelash or beard or hair, wherever, your hair follicles will literally come alive. And whatever you mix in it also goes deep along with it. So the effect kind of compounds. It's also very rich in ricinoleic acid and contains omega-6, 9 fatty acids, and also improves your blood circulation to the roots of your follicles. Okay, so to this 500 ml of castor oil, I add 100 ml of Bringaraj oil. I don't need to tell you anything about Bringaraj oil. It's like the king of herbs for hair. It's amazing. Okay, so the next is pumpkin seed essential oil. So like I take like 5 eyedroppers full, and pumpkin seed is like rich in zinc, the same zinc that we just spoke about. So it really strengthens your hair follicles. Okay, so the next oil that I take is 100 ml of onion oil. Onion oil is amazing. It has sulfur compounds and it reduces that enzyme that converts your testosterone to DHT. So it's like this main thing that is needed for hair growth. Then I take about 50 ml of Kalinji oil. It has hymoquinone, which regenerates your follicle cells. Then Amla oil. So I take like 6 eyedroppers. Then saw Palmetto hair oil, again 6 eyedroppers. Now everything where I say eyedroppers, these are all essential hair oils. Then Rosemary essential oil, again 6 eyedroppers. Now, rosemary oil is one oil you don't want to cheap out on. It's like the main game changer. Okay, so I have provided all the links for all the brands. They are not sponsored. Now, I buy really large quantities because they just work out more economical. But I provided you the links for even smaller quantities and good brands. So mix all these in a glass bottle and then store them. Okay, so just apply it to sections of your hair, apply it only to the scalp and massage it and leave it. I kind of apply it every night, but I can kind of get away with it because like I have really thick and my hair is also curly because of that. But if you have like straight hair and if you can apply it every day, please do. Like, so what if your hair looks greasy for a while? Like do it every day for just a few weeks at least, and then you can reduce it. And also if you have like an oily scalp, then just apply it only twice a week. But always soak overnight because it kind of penetrates deeper into the scalp when you sleep, and also heat the oil a little bit before you apply it.
But my dermat has specifically told me to avoid oiling.
This may be relevant for people who have an oily scalp. I completely agree. But in most parts of South India, oil is applied once and then washed after 2 or 3 days. So literally oil is on our scalps most days with very few exceptions. And we are known for amazing hair. I honestly completely disagree with some doctors on this because actual historical evidence from our grandmother's times says something very different from what they are taught to believe.
But won't my pillow absorb most of it when I sleep? And my pillow also will get very dirty, no?
Okay, first thing is that you are not applying too much. You are just applying just enough to coat like this thin film on your scalp. For the hair, you can use like normal coconut oil a night before you wash it off. Still, a little oil will get absorbed by the pillow, but a lot would have actually soaked into your scalp while you're sleeping because your skin and your scalp absorbs better when you're sleeping. I have this plastic cover inside my pillowcase, so the pillow is kind of protected, and I wash the pillow cover also in really hot water and change it once in 3 to 4 months. Now, clean pillow or thicker hair? Choice is simple na.
Okay, but why should I make this oil? I mean, I can just buy a ready-made oil mix, no?
Yes, you absolutely can. But when you're buying, please don't buy oils that come with fragrances or phenoxyethanol, benzene, or emulsifiers or surfactants. Some oils actually do mention what they have blended, some absolutely don't. And some mention it in really small, unreadable font. So the rule is that if it is smelling kind of unnatural and too strong, then it's not natural, just stay away. But the reason I make this oil myself is that this particular combination of oils isn't yet there in any brand in the market yet. You'll get either 3 to 4 kind of mixes of oils maximum, but this is a very powerful blend and it will deliver results. So I kind of feel it's like worth the effort. It's inexpensive, no chemicals, no fragrances, and 100% natural, no side effects. So worth it. This is the most important, and I think literally every Indian knows this. Massage your scalp at least 10 to 15 minutes every day, any time of the day, whether you apply oil or not, doesn't matter. I just massage it in the night before bed, and it also deepens my sleep.
I'm very scared of head massage. I feel more of my hair falls off when I massage.
So when you massage, don't use your nails or don't be too aggressive. Just be very gentle massage. You just want to stimulate the cells, create some warmth. So when you're using warm oil and the massage, it further stimulates warmth. So this perfect environment for a dormant sleeping, hair follicle. A clinical study found that 68.9% of the people actually stabilized or regrew hair just from scalp massage alone. It increases your blood flow to your scalp by 40 to 50%. Imagine. More blood means more oxygen, more nutrients, more growth factors actually reaching your follicles. Also, you feel really good now after a massage. Like some people don't doze off because it reduces stress and cortisol decreases with a massage, which directly increases your hair growth phase. So don't be scared. Whatever hair has to fall will any which ways fall, whether you massage or not. So think of massage as you are laying the foundation for fresh new hair growth. Okay, this brings us to the most important part: shampoos, conditioners, and hair products. Now, the myth. You need foam and lather to clean your scalp. Not true. Because your scalp is not a vessel that we're trying to make squeaky clean. A scalp is a living, breathing entity. It needs to be washed in a way that its natural oils are retained and only the grease is cleaned. That's it. But chemical shampoos and products contain harsh detergents, surfactants, harsh chemical cleaning agents that kind of like strip all the natural oils from your scalp, even the so-called anti-hair fall shampoos as well. Even like some of these ads will proudly show off that they'll make your hair squeaky clean when their shampoo is used. I'm sure you must have observed this, like after a hair wash with these products, your hair kind of becomes very bouncy and it feels really fresh, right? Even ads will proudly show off the bounce. That's not freshness. That's silicones in the shampoo or hair products that actually coat your hair, making it look thicker but temporarily. And they are filled with sulfates that will damage your hair protein like over time permanently, making hair loss or hair thinning irreversible when it is used for a very long time. Now it's like this vicious cycle. Most of these products and treatments kind of show very temporary relief, of course, and then long-term damage. And the people who sell them get to benefit from your loss the most. And your hair fall is just being managed. It's not being solved.
Okay, but I like to use hair gel, hair wax, hair sprays. Also, I like to blow dry it because it looks really good.
That's absolutely fine, use them, but for occasions. Don't make it like a daily habit, and when you do use them, make sure you don't spray it on the scalp, rather you spray it on the hair. That's fine, but occasionally. Because when you already are losing hair, loading your scalp with strong products and heat is like kicking it when it is already down, right? So many of these gels and sprays are actually packed with like hard setting plastics like PVP, vinyl polymers, heavy waxes, silicones, propellant gases. These are all used like on wood and furniture and other stuff. These form like the stiff or greasy layer on the hair and scalp. It sucks out all the moisture, clogs all your pores, and it traps all your sweat, dirt, and pollution inside, which can kind of irritate your scalp and weaken already fragile follicles. So you don't want to do that. Instead, use natural hair shampoos like Rita. That's soap nut powder. Here's why it works. Rita contains these natural saponins. They're organic compounds that clean your hair and your scalp without stripping all your natural oils. They very gently remove the dirt and excess oil without damaging your scalp's protective barrier. They don't irritate your follicles follicles, and they are pH balanced, meaning like they create this healthy environment for hair follicles to thrive and grow. I mean, look at my hair. Like, I have curly hair, and curly hair is most prone to frizziness, dryness, and that really scaly kind of a hair. But with Rita, it kind of it feels very moisturized. Like, it retains the necessary oils, but it doesn't strip the excess. So I would highly recommend it. Okay, so here are some products that I personally use. Like in powders, I use Havintha or Forest Herbs. They are very good brands. They cost as much as a cup of chai per use, when compared to thousands that you would actually shell out for a single product for long-term damage. So how you use these powders is like, I just take like 2 spoonfuls and I put it in a mug, mix some water, and I kind of whip it up with my hand like I'm whipping an egg yolk. It instantly lathers and foams because it contains Rita powder, and I apply it on my scalp and massage and then rinse. So I don't apply much to my hair because I kind of like to retain all the oil in my hair or some of the oil in my hair, but I wash it off from the scalp. But if you have oily hair, you can wash the hair length as well with these, and they won't damage your hair, I promise you. I kind of use it just twice a week, not more than that. I don't wash regularly.
But I don't like that powder shampoos. Just suggest me some liquid shampoos, no?
Okay, so if you prefer a liquid, these are the brands that I have personally used and I find they're amazing. Mukti Gold is really great. It has foam, it foams, but it's the soap nut foam, not the chemical foam. Also, there's a brand called Sattva, which has a liquid formulation of soap nut and shikakai. This is the more gentler version. It removes all the excess oil amazingly well. You know the slippery smoothing agent used in commercial conditioners? They are terrible. Please stay away from them, especially when you're having hair loss, because it gradually leaks into the follicles when you're repeatedly using them. Maybe using them when you're traveling or occasionally is perfectly fine. But guess what I use? The conditioner I use is something that I make, and this is the shine that it gives. But I batch make my conditioner, and it literally takes 10 minutes for a 2-month batch. Okay, there's a video of mine explaining the entire process. There is a little difference in the ingredients for different hair types, and this is a video here. Please give your scalp a chemical fast. Just for a while. Let it breathe. During this time, just add what was stripped away from it. Nourish it like you would nourish like a starving baby. Care for it. I promise you that with just this one single switch now, you'll start to see such a huge difference just within 2 weeks. Okay, here's the part you probably might have heard a million zillion times because they are inseparable. Hair health, stress, sleep, hydration are deeply interconnected. You know, a stressed person releases cortisol that shortens your anagen phase. That's the growth phase of your hair, and it pushes it more into the pre-falling, you know, the telogen resting phase very early on. So basically, stress kind of compresses the timeline of your hair, and that's why stress causes dramatic hair loss. So work on your stress, your trauma, or overthinking, whatever.
Everybody says deal with stress. But how do you deal with stress?
You know, we live in an age where we have radical teachers like Sister Shivani or Sadhguru, Michael Singer's teachings, or whoever your favorite is, it doesn't matter. Just seek, learn, and keep clearing your emotional residue. Keep learning how to deal with your stress, and you will glow from within. No treatments even needed, no nothing, no doctors, I promise you. Your hair grows at night. Your scalp heals at night. Just frame this and put it beside your bed so you know how important sleep is in your hair growth journey. Cortisol drops at night, not during the day.
No matter how much I try, I can't sleep at 10 o'clock in the night. I get sleep like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 sometimes.
Which probably just means that you're an owl chronotype. It doesn't matter. Which means you'll sleep late and you'll wake up late. No problem. That's absolutely fine as long as you get 7 to 8 hours of deep, uninterrupted, peaceful sleep. The depth and the quantity of your sleep both are equally important, more than the timing. Just make sure you wake up and get enough sunlight. You know, your hair is 25% water, so if you're dehydrated, your hair is weak and will eventually fall, no matter what you try to do. Gradually just start to increase your water consumption. So you can't increase it overnight, right? But do it gradually and slowly every single day. And remember the copper water that we spoke about. Even if you do just these, you are setting your DNA up to promote hair growth. Remember, DNA loads the gun and your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So even if you are genetically probable to have hair loss, these factors will decide whether your hair loss gene gets activated or not. Remember that.
Okay, so how long will it take to go like very thick?
Okay, realistically, you already know that hair grows very slowly. So it takes like 2 to 3 months for stress or deprived sleep or nutrition, etc. to show up as hair loss, right? So it's going to take the same time or probably a little bit more for it to reverse as well. Realistically, it takes about 4 to 5 months to start seeing amazing thick, abundant hair. Also, it will depend from person to person and how bad the hair loss actually is to begin with. Also, if you experience very sudden or complete baldness, severe itching or pain, scalp infections, hair loss, combined with weight gain or exhaustion or irregular periods, please see a doctor. I want to be very honest with you. When you start this routine, part of you will doubt it because it is so simple, है ना? Because there is literally no pill or miracle ingredient that I'm suggesting you. But that simplicity, that is the point. Your body actually doesn't need complicated medicine. Your body has this inbuilt pharmacy within. When you do the right things, your body's internal pharmacy gets activated. No doctor can match what your body's intelligence is. Just that it needs consistency, nourishment, and time. So try it and do share your results in the comments. I read everything, so also that others can benefit from your experience. Also, I'm soon going to be posting leave-in conditioner for curly hair. It can be used also for straight hair that I myself make and use for this shine and curls. So do subscribe so you are up to date. This is Curiosity with me, Daisy, empowering you with what actually works. Until the next time, bye-bye.